An El Paso mother of two was killed in a crash that El Paso police say was caused by a drunk driver. Desiree Skaf was arrested and charged with intoxication manslaughter. But despite pleading guilty, Skaf didn't serve her sentence, and now she is a woman on the run. This is the center of the latest episode of Borderland Crimes.
Either you liked her or you loved her. There was no middle. She would call herself Miss Amazing.
This is the first time that Iris Minks is talking publicly about her best friend, Janet Valderrama.
She was very clumsy. She was always getting herself into something, whether breaking an arm, whether breaking a toe, whether breaking a finger. And she would always tell me, well, it's your fault because you left me alone.
The friends were driving up Doniphan in the Upper Valley when suddenly they were hit from behind. Iris's car slammed into a utility pole and Janet was critically wounded.
I remember waking up in the vehicle, and of course the accident had already happened. And I looked over, and that's when I saw Janet. And from there, I feel like I kind of blacked out just because the image that you see. Sorry. You know when somebody's not alive anymore?
Janet died 4 days later, on July 15th, 2013, 2 weeks before her 26th birthday. It's been a big loss for Iris and for Janet's mom.
I
was always telling her to be careful, but she would say, "You never want me to do anything." I would tell her it was dangerous and that she needed to be here and safe. I did it because out of love.
21-year-old Desiree Skaf was found in her car about a half-mile away from the crash site, leaning on her deployed airbag, crying uncontrollably and smelling of alcohol. Desiree was charged with intoxication manslaughter, a charge that comes with a 2 to 20-year prison sentence if convicted. Her pair of attorneys worked to negotiate a plea deal, but she opted for a trial. A few days before jury selection was set to begin, the DA's office made a new plea offer of 7 years rather than 8. Desiree accepted the plea but told her attorneys she wanted to appeal. So before she was even formally sentenced, she, with the help of her parents, had already retained 3 more lawyers to fight for a new trial. One of them was Richard Esper.
Chaos erupted, and the judge was livid about it, and so she had everybody come into chambers, but she said, look, either she takes the 7 years or I'm going to increase it to 15 years if she wants a trial.
Judge Bonnie Garangel ended up sentencing Desiree to 15 years in prison on March 24, 2016. In a rare move, a judge granted Desiree's motion for a new trial. After 3 weeks in state prison, Desiree was brought back to El Paso and within a few days was out on a $150,000 personal recognizance bond. But Desiree's freedom was short-lived. The court was notified Desiree was in a bar a couple of times over the several months she was out of prison on bond.
And I said, well, you know, you're in an establishment that's purely a drinking establishment. She said, well, I just went to meet some friends.
She was in big trouble with the judge.
Judge Ronhell set up for a status hearing on the issue of her bail.
Days before the bond hearing, Esper met with Desiree to lay out the stakes.
She thought she was going to go to, her bond was going to get revoked. I said, whether it is or isn't, you need to show up.
What was her response to that?
She says, I'll be there. And she didn't show.
Desiree disappeared, and the judge issued an arrest warrant.
She slipped out of their hands.
¿Cómo?
How? And I think it makes me really sad that there's nothing I could do.
Mucha tristeza que nunca he podido hacer nada.
A law enforcement source confirmed to me they have good intel that Desiree is in Lebanon. Desiree's father was born there and lived in Lebanon until he emigrated to the U.S., and the U.S. has no extradition treaty with that country. The last information law enforcement gathered is Desiree's working as a reporter in Lebanon. And sure enough, an article about a Macedonian shipwreck discovered underwater off the coast of Lebanon was written by Desiree Skaf. The timestamp was from April 2019.
To think that she's out there still living, you know, somewhat of whatever, I guess, life that she can live. And Janet's unable to do that. On top of, you know, be with her 2 kids and see them grow up. That is, I think, what hits the most.
She's listed in our national system and international system as a wanted subject. It doesn't matter where she's found. We will send deputies to go pick her up and bring her back to El Paso.
I looked for Desiree's parents, Ramsey and Lisa Skaf. First, I went to their house in the Upper Valley. No one answered the door. I left my business card on the door asking for them to call me. Lisa did call and left a voicemail.
Hi, Stephanie. This is Lisa Skaf. You were just at my house, and I saw you in the ring cam. Give me a call back. Thank you.
I've called her back numerous times, but can't leave a message, and she hasn't responded to my texts. Meantime, those who knew and loved Janet Valderrama want resolution.
What happened happened, and you did what you did. And part of being an adult means taking accountability for your actions, and you need to do that.
But Janet's mom seems to have given up hope that Desiree will ever face a judge and jury.
Do you think that you will have justice one day?
No. Me voy a morir, yo creo, y se va a quedar que sigue abierto.
I think I'm gonna die, and it's still gonna be open.
In my Borderline Crimes podcast, what would happen if Desiree is caught? And the deeper heartbreak that Janet's mom, Lourdes, has been experiencing since her daughter's death. Listen to A Woman on the Run, the latest episode of my Borderline Crimes podcast, wherever you get podcasts and on KVIA.com. I'm Stephanie Valle, ABC 7.